Hey Bookies, I got tired and now I'm on the floor. But I have a massive book haul for you, so let's get started. I don't even know if I was in frame for that. Do we care? No, I'm very tired. But I went out with my friend Jess and we went so many places. I took her up to Chattanooga and I took her to that Barnes & Noble over there. Why? Because we were going to another bookstore that I'll tell you about in a second. But it's a nice fancy one and I like it. So I got some books over there. I don't even remember what I got. Is somewhat nice. Oh yeah, this is one that she recommends that I read. It is Equal Rites by Terry Pratchett. She's wanting me to get into the Discworld series. It's going to take me a while to read into those, so bear with me. This might take me a bit to get into, but not this book specifically, but the whole series. But I'm starting with this one. Next up is Blaine for the Win by Robbie Coach. This was pitched to me as legally blonde, gender bent, legally blonde. I don't know what words are. But anyways, I fell in love with it, with that pitch. So I am very excited for this. I believe it's a male-male romance as well. Yeah, he has the perfect boyfriend. Except his boyfriend breaks up with him. Oh, in public. On their 1-year anniversary. So I guess he's going against him. This is going to be a fun book to read. Next up is City of Dusk by Tara Sim. I got this for me and Ethan. I think I'm going to give it to him first to read. But I love Tara Sim's Scavenge the Stars. I don't think I've read the sequel yet. Is there a sequel? I'm pretty sure there's a sequel and I'm not ready yet. But I absolutely love that, and I have read the synopsis of this so much because so many book boxes have been putting it in their boxes, and I do like this bi-weekly or weekly new book box guesses thing on my blog. You should go check it out. But anyways, this has been in so many book boxes and I just had to grab it. I believe this is dark fantasy. For every realm there is a god, for every god there is an heir, for every heir there is a prince. Enter a world of bone and shadow magic, vengeful gods and defiant chosen ones in the City of Dusk, the first book of the Dark Gods trilogy from Stunning New Voice and Epic Fantasy. Yeah, epic fantasy, dark fantasy. Very excited for it, and the cover looks amazing. The last book is For the Wolf by Hannah Whitten. The sequel just came out, so I bought the first one. I think, if I remember this, it's a little bit Red Riding Hood, but a little bit The Village. Let's see here. I did not read this. I went solely off the cover. I am an awful person, I know. As the only second daughter born in centuries, Red has one purpose: to be sacrificed to the wolf in the Wilderwood in hope that he'll return to the world's captured gods. Red is almost relieved to go, plagued by a dangerous power she can't control. She knows that, at least in the Wilderwood, she can't be hurt. She can't hurt those she loves again. But the legends lie. The wolf is a man, not a monster. Her magic is a calling, not a curse. And if she doesn't learn how to use it, the monsters the gods have become will swallow the Wilderwood in her world whole. That sounds really good. Very excited for it, and I think the sequel is For the Throne, which looks absolutely fantastic, so I can't wait to get into this. And then I also bought a little game because my husband and I love playing card games and board games and stuff like that. I got the Hygge game, which is a cozy conversation in a pleasant company. Hygge is Danish for enjoying the good things in life. And I looked at this and I'm like, this sounds like a really good Friday night, like we feel low energy kind of game for the friends. So kind of excited to play it. It's 300 thought-provoking questions designed to spark meaningful conversation and create the right atmosphere for a Hygge event. So we then left the Barnes & Noble after that monster haul. And we went over, and I showed her the wonderfulness that is McKay's. If you don't know, McKay's is like a small bookshop. It's like an indie bookshop, but they do buybacks. And there's now 5 stores. There's one in Chattanooga, there's Knoxville and Nashville, and then there's 2 in South Carolina, I believe now. I think one's in Greenville, but I'm not entirely sure. Anyways, very excited for them because they deserve it. They're one of the best resale shops that I've ever been to. But I had some stuff to turn in, some buybacks, and then I had money from last time. So I ended up with like $146 in total at the end, and I spent all but like $6 of it. So sorry, my battery's running low. So this is like $140 worth of books and stuff. Guys, I was bad. I was a bad girl. I first got Holly Kingdom by Kiera Jane Buxton. I have no idea what this book is about. I remember that I had seen it before on BookTube, but I can't remember what it's about. S.T., a domesticated crow, is a bird of simple pleasures. He spends his day hanging out with his owner, Big Jim, avoiding the slobbering affection of Big Jim's loyal but dim-witted dog Dennis, trading insults with the Seattle Wind Crows, blah blah blah. Then on a beautiful summer evening, Big Jim's eyeballs fall out of his head. Oh my god, I did not expect the gore. Apparently Big Jim dead, or his eyeballs are at least dead, and ST starts to feel like something isn't quite right. Yeah, exactly. The fuck? When the tried and true remedies fail to bring Big Jim back to health, ST is left with no choice but to abandon his old life and venture out with his trusty steed Dennis to find a cure. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is an apocalypse book. Ooh. Apocalypse book told from the eyesight. Is it too late for the jokes? A dystopian adult read told from the viewpoint of a crow. I'm excited. Also, there's a donkey. So excited for this now. Oh my god. Oh my god. I also picked up Crown of Feathers by Nicki Preto. I don't know if that's how you pronounce her name. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced that. But I have either the last book or the last 2 books. But this is the first, I believe, that I only had. So I got the first book, and I got it on like this random app that I don't even think I have anymore. And I had it for the longest time because it came for free. And then the second book sounded really good, and I got like a special copy or something like that, so I bought that. And then the third one, I also got a special copy, so I bought that one. Never had the first ones, but now I have the first one. But I think this one's kind of like Storm Crows. I don't know if anyone knows that. It was underappreciated. I had a sister once. In a world ruled by fierce warrior queens, a grand empire was built upon the backs of phoenix riders. Legendary warriors who soared through the sky on wings of fire until a war between 2 sisters ripped it all apart. 16 years later, Veronica is a war orphan who dreams of becoming a phoenix rider. After a shocking betrayal from her controlling sister, Veronica strikes out alone to find the riders, even if that means disguising herself as a boy. So Veronica does the Mulan thing. Shit happens. So it's an epic fantasy. This is kind of giving me the Storm Crows vibes, which is basically kind of like this, except Storm Crows, it's an oppressive society. This is more like ruling kingdoms. So very, very excited to read this. I also picked up a finished copy of Ace of Spades by Faridah. I'm sorry. Abike-Iyimide? I am so sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm so sorry. But I absolutely... Oh, someone tabbed it. Aww. This is the fun about getting used books. You find people's, like, tabs and stuff in here. But, I absolutely love this book when I read it, and I had an e-art copy. Basically, it is dark academia, kind of. It is set in a... Well, it's set in, like, our world, unfortunately, of all the shit that's in it. But our 2 main characters are the only 2 black kids at this school. and they start to realize that they are becoming targets by the other students and the teachers, and that there might be this whole secret society thing that might be into the whole, like, human sacrifice. It goes a lot into racism, microaggressions, and so much racist history in, like, sundown towns and white institutions, stuff like that. It's something that you need to read, and it's something that needs to be taught in school. Very sad that it's not being taught in schools, but it really needs to be taught in schools, because this is something that is one of the more eye-opening books of what Black people, Hispanic people, Asian people, etc., 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 go through, especially Black people, and especially in institutions that created to be racist, specifically for segregation and stuff. Fantastic read. I can't recommend this enough. Next up is Hello Girls by Brittany Cavallaro, oh my god, and Emily Henry. I met them both in person at a book event, and I think they're still friends. But they were awesome together. So when I saw this in the checkout line, I grabbed it. And I was like, mine. Didn't even read what it was about. Best friends are forged by fire. For Winona Olsen and Lucille Pierce. Is that Pierce or Price? Price. And Lucille Price. That fire happens the night they meet outside the police station, both deciding whether to turn their families in. Shy, restrained Winona has been starving for a life in a seemingly perfect home. She shares with her seemingly perfect father, celebrity weatherman Stormy Olsen. No one knows that he locks the pantry door to control her eating and leaves bruises where no one can see them. So there's definitely eating disorder content warning there. Tough on the outside, Lucille has been suffocating beneath the knees of her mother and her drug-dealing brother, wondering if there's more for her, more out there for her than disappearing waitress tips and a lifetime of barely getting by. One harrowing night, Winona and Lucille realize they can't wait until graduation to start their new lives. They need out now. All they need is $3,000 fast, and really a stolen convertible to take them from Michigan to Las Vegas. Can't help. So this is obviously Thelma and Louise inspired, like has that feel, but I'm also, like if you read Dead End Girls and liked it, this is going to be the book for you. Or if you read this book and you've not read Dead End Girls, read Dead End Girls. It's much like this, but very excited for this one. I really love Dead End Girls. I love the Thelma and Louise like trope of running from your problems and stuff like that, so I can't wait to read this. I also picked up Half Sick of Shadows by Laura Sebastian, which is her first foray into adult fantasy, and it's the story of Camelot. The story of Camelot is hers. So is this a gender-bent Camelot story? The Lady of Shalott reclaims her story in this bold feminist reimagining of the Arthurian myth from the best-selling author of Ash Princess. I love Ashley Sebastian, and I don't know what is going on. Have y'all noticed that there's a trend of YA authors moving to adult fantasy? I have, and Laura was one of the first ones to do that I've seen. There was way more than what I noticed before, but in this recent, like, wave, she was the first one I noticed. Everyone knows the legend of Arthur destined to be king, of the beautiful Guinevere who will betray him with his most loyal knight Lancelot, of the bitter sorceress Morgana who will turn against them all. But Elaine alone carries the burden of knowing what is to come, for Elaine of Shalott is cursed to see the future. On the mythical Isle of Avalon, Elaine runs free and learns of the ancient prophecy surrounding her and her friends, countless possibilities, almost all of them tragic. When their future comes to claim them, Elaine, Guinevere, Lancelot, and Morgana accompany Arthur to take his throne in stifling Camelot, where magic is outlawed, the rules of society chain them, and enemies are everywhere. Yet the most dangerous threats may come from within their own circle. As visions are fulfilled and an inevitable fate closes in, Elaine must decide how far she will go to change destiny, and what she is willing to sacrifice along the way. It sounds absolutely wonderful. I love Arthurian retellings, so I can't wait to read this. Next up, I got a finished copy of Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. I keep messing with this camera position. I'm sorry, I'm not used to shooting on the floor. But I read this book and I absolutely loved it. Basically, it's a pre-Columbian Americas inspired sci-fi tale There's a lot that goes into it, but it's absolutely wonderful. I really can't, like, describe it very well. I'm just going to read the back. Inspired by the civilizations of the pre-Columbian Americas, woven into the tale of celestial prophecies, forbidden magic, and crafted with unforgettable characters, Rebecca Roanhorse has created an epic fantasy adventure in the most original series debut of the decade. In the holy city of Tova, 3 lives are converging upon a solar eclipse, prescribed by the sun priests as an unbalancing of the world. Meanwhile, a ship launches from a distant city bound for Tova and set to arrive on solstice. The captain of the ship, Zyala, is a disgraced teak whose song can calm the waters around her as easily as it can warp a man's mind. Her ship carries 1 passenger. Described as harmless, a passenger, Serapio, is a young man, blind, scarred, and cloaked in destiny. As Zyala well knows, when a man is described as harmless, he usually ends up being a villain. Oh my god, is that not true? Oh my god, yes. But this was an absolutely wonderful read. I absolutely loved it. The sequel came out, which is Fevered Sun, and I really want to do a reread of this before I jump into Fevered Sun. I have so many books left. I also picked up a finished copy of The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. Absolutely. Okay, so I don't really like the author that much, but oh man, this series. I absolutely love this series. I listened to it on audiobook. It's the first in the Montague siblings trilogy. I think it's just a trilogy. But basically our main character, his name is Monty. Is his name Monty? Yeah, Henry Monty. He goes by Monty. He's a party boy, and his dad's like, enough, you're gonna go on tour, and then when you get back home, X is going to happen. So he's like, well, I want to go on tour with my friend, who's the guy that he's been secretly crushing on. Not so secretly, he's very overt about his flirtations. And his sister, well, he picks up his sister along the way. But things happen. Revelations happen. There's a lot that goes into this. But yeah, I would definitely pick this up. The series is really, really good. I can't wait to reread it, actually. I have the 3rd one, and I'm supposed to be reading it for a readathon. Yeah. I picked up a copy of Hot Dog Girl. Obviously, it's a little broken up here, but nothing that tape can't fix. I normally don't care if my books are in pristine condition, which is why I don't care to go to secondhand shops like McKay's to pick up books. But this is Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Dugan. I have been told so many times that Hot Dog Girl is amazing and I need to pick it up, so I am. But this story is about Eloise Parker, who is determined to have the absolutely best, most impossibly epic summer of her life. It is a contemporary. There's just a few things standing in her way. She landed a job at the Magic Castle Playland as a giant dancing hot dog. Her crush has a girlfriend who is literally the princess of the park. Her best friend, the carousel operator, has always been up for anything, but she's decidedly not on board when it comes to Lou's quest to set her up with the perfect girl, or Lou's scheme to get close to Nick. And it turns out that this will be their last summer in the Magic Castle Playland ever, unless she can find a way to stop it from closing. So this is what I would call what did I call it? Amusement park. Like, if you're looking for summer books that are set in amusement parks, this is definitely going to be one of them that you're going to want to pick up. And I'm so excited to read it. So good. So next up, I've been trying to get my collection back. I had a really, really big collection of the Dear America series. I had a lot of the American Girl book series that I either sold in a moment of weakness, or because I was told I was too old for, or that were stolen from me. So I'm slowly recollecting all of them as I can, little by little. So I picked up these 2 that I've already read a while ago, but I'm going to reread in the future at some point. This one is Across the Wild and Lonesome Prairie, which is the Oregon Trail Diary of Hattie Campbell. I don't remember this one much, but I do remember that it's very Oregon Trail. I believe, like, Going for a Better Life, and like someone wrote a 3 on it. I'm gonna have to see if I can, like, take that off or something, but Again, I normally don't care about the condition of the books that I get, as long as the pages are all there, and they are. They're just a little beat up, but nothing that a little TLC can't fix. And this one is Coal Miner's Bride, which is the diary of Anitka Kaminska, which happens in 1896. And I believe that this one, she's a mail-order bride from Russia? Poland. She gets sold to a guy from Poland and travels to America. Gripping read. I also picked up a copy of We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I've seen this so much on Book Talk, and the sequel dropped, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And so I pulled the trigger, and I was like, "Okay, fine. I'm gonna have to see what the oh my god is about." But apparently, this is about like a family and a sort of family secret. I'm not really sure. I kind of want to go into it completely blind. Which, trust me, with the amount of people that talk about it a lot, it's been super hard. So the last book that I picked up was The Inheritance of Orquidea Divina. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but for the life of me, I can't remember how to correctly pronounce that. So if someone can help me, I would appreciate it. But I've seen this on Bookstagram a lot. Let's see here. The stars have shifted. The earth has turned. The time is here. I am dying. Come and collect your inheritance. The Montoyas are used to a life without explanations. They know better than to ask why the pantry never seems to run low or empty, or why their matriarch won't ever leave their home in the Four Rivers. When Orquidea Divina invites them to her funeral to collect their inheritance, they hope to learn the secrets that she's held on so tightly in their whole lives. Instead, Orquidea is transformed into a sebia tree, her limbs stretching into roots and branches, leaving them with more questions than answers. This sounds like a twisted version of Encanto, and I'm here for it. 7 years later, her gifts have manifested in different ways for Marmar, Ray, and Rhiannon, granting them unexpected blessings and powers. But soon, a hidden figure begins to tear through their family tree, picking them off one by one. It is a dark, Encanto-like book with murder. I love it. I also picked up a stack of comics. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start with these. I'll start with this. I picked up a, this is a Loot Crate exclusive. You know how old this is. This is a Doctor Who comic from the 12th Doctor, and some random girl that he picked up because he's always picking up random girls. I love Doctor Who. I am rewatching the whole series. Hopefully I've started that by the time I've edited this, but I'm rewatching the whole series for anticipation of the newest Doctor, the 14th? 15th? Can't remember. 14th or 15th Doctor. Can't remember which one. I also picked up a Marvel Voices Identity of issue 1, and it has Miss Marvel on here. And that version of Spider... I can't remember what her name is, but she's a spider person. So excited to read these. I've been seeing Wind a lot, so I picked up issues 2 through 8. Why didn't I pick up 1? Because I couldn't find it. I spent like, I don't know, 40 minutes over in the comic book section, could not find Wind Volume 1. If you know where I can find Wind Volume 1, I would be very appreciative. And I also picked up for Ethan, I picked up a comic book copy of Munchkin, Alice in Wonderland. This might be for me because I'm an Alice in Wonderland fan as well. But it looked cute. And he really likes Munchkin. He really likes Munchkin, so he'll enjoy it. I promise you this is going to be the last time I change where you are. So sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. Also, I had to change the battery. Anyways, I didn't expect this to be a long video. But we left there. Huge haul for the both of us. And we were talking and talking, and I had a pre-order of a book that I'm super excited for that came in at Little Shop. So I took her over to Little Shop. I picked up my pre-order. It's Forging Silver into Stars by Bridget I'm sorry. Can't pronounce crap. But I got my pre-order in. I'm super happy about that. And then we went around and picked up some books. I saw this adorable little book for our pregnant friend. It is Tarot for Babies. For babies. So we picked we picked this up. Well, I picked it up because because I was like, I'm going to give it to her. So I'm going to give that one to the pregnant friend. And then I picked up some books for me because I'm a glutton for punishment. I picked up a finished copy of Girl Overboard by Sandra Block. I absolutely love this book. I know I commented about the length of time that we spent at sea. I still don't understand that, but I really, really enjoyed the book, so I'm very happy to have a finished copy of this. I also picked up a copy of Elazzo. I will figure out how to pronounce this, I'm so sorry. But it's by Darcy Little Badger, and I've heard so many great things about this author, and I've been wanting this book for so long, so I can't wait to read it, and the cover looks amazing. The book feels great. It's just, the spine feels so different. I'm so excited. And then because I think I broke it now. Because I am trying to get back into manga, I picked up Sailor Moon. So we have the first one, Sailor Moon Volume 1, and then we have Sailor Moon Volume 2. That is all that they had there. You're probably like, Paige, you can get like the Bounded series. I don't want that. But yeah, that is our whole haul. It's a huge haul. Part of me is like, you got way too many books. And then the other part of me is like, this is what happiness looks like. But yeah, so that is it. So thank y'all for watching. See you again. Bye.